Welcome back to the Don McKay Show here on RadioOnFire.com. Thank you for joining me. Of course, you're listening to the Radio on Fire News Network, the voice of urban America. And definitely we're streaming on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, and of course, RadioOnFire.com. So, man, it's this whole situation in Dallas has me I'm not feeling good about it. Now, of course, police officer kills innocent black man. Why are you disappointed with the outcome? Because you know how things are going to go. That's what people are saying to me. But the fact that that's just the way it is, the fact that we just have to accept that bothers me. And for people that's living under a rock, may not know what I'm talking about, a white Dallas police officer was sentenced today to 10 years in prison for killing her innocent black neighbor in his apartment that she broke in, mistook for her own unit, one floor above. So Amber Guyger is her name, and she didn't appear to show much reaction. Just kind of sat there, stone face. And, at least from the angle of the live camera stream, and I've been following this case pretty closely, the judge read the jury's sentence. It came a day after this same jury convicted Amber Guyger of murder. That's what she is, a murderer, for the September killing of Botham Jean. Now, this guy's in his house, eating, preparing to eat some ice cream, chilling, relaxing in his own home, and killed by a police officer in his house. Now, the family walked out the courtroom, and there was a chance of no justice, no peace. Two young black women hugged each other and cried. And a lot of people online just, this was not a good ruling. If, let's say same situation, but in this, so let's say the lady came in his house, she mistook it for her house, came in, and he killed her as an intruder. She actually was an intruder, and he killed her. He would have gotten more time than 10 years. Okay? So the jury could have sentenced this former police officer, this convicted murderer. The jury could have sentenced up to life in prison or as little as 2 years. So they chose 10 years, right? The basic facts of this very unusual shooting were not in dispute through the trial. Guyger returned home from a long shift, but still had time to text with the boyfriend, right? Entered Jean's fourth floor apartment and shot him. He had been eating a bowl of ice cream before she fired. So this goes back to me, the connection between the two of them. Had there been a relationship between the two of them? Who does this? Who shoots and kills someone? They're in the wrong. She's not in the feds. She's not going to do 10 years if she has good behavior. Very disturbing. Very disturbing. Let's hear from the family. This is the family
country
of
changed my church, and I know that there are many people who stood with me and my family throughout this tumultuous journey. Yesterday, we saw the conviction of Amber Guyger, and today we heard the sentence of 10 years in prison. That 10 years in prison is 10 years for her reflection and for her to change her life. But there is much more to be done by the city of Dallas. The corruption that we saw during this process must stop. And it must stop for you. Because after now, I leave Dallas, but you live in Dallas. And it must stop for everyone. The contamination of a crime scene that we saw coming out of this case is one that must never happen again.
That's right.
The poor training or the poor use of what should have been training is what we see coming out of this case. That should never, ever happen again.
Amen.
And if this was applied in the way that it ought to have been taught, my son would have been alive today. If Amber Guyger was trained not to shoot in the heart, my son would be standing here today.
He was no threat.
Oh, hold on for a second. I mean, this is a decent lady talking about his mother. You can tell, you can hear it. Prosecutors wanted the max. They did not get the max. Prosecutors questioned, how could she have missed numerous signs that she was in the wrong place, right? If this so-called officer, after a little alleged fatigue from work, was so discombobulated that she goes in the wrong house, thinking that it's her house, how is this person on the street policing in the city of Dallas? How? She's not qualified mentally, if you want to believe the story that was told. Play a little bit more from the mother of the deceased, Botham G.
He had no reason to pose a threat to her because he was in his own apartment, in his sanctuary, in the place in which he paid a lot of money to be in. He paid rent to be there. He had every right to be there in whatever state he was in. Yet still, his privacy was violated.
Amen.
She intruded on him.
Yes, she did.
And that was not enough. She killed him.
That's right.
Cold-blooded.
Yes, he did.
Cold-blooded.
Murder.
Our life must move on. But our life must move on with change.
That's right. You gotta fight first.
There's gotta be a better day. And that better day starts with each and every one of us.
That's right.
The city of Dallas needs to clean up inside.
Amen.
Right.
The Dallas Police Department has a lot of laundry to do.
Amen.
The Texas Rangers need to know who's on board.
Yes.
And every single one of you, citizens of Dallas and residents of Dallas, need to know what to do to get your city right.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you. No question.
Yeah, I mean, and that right there, you're just tuning in. It's radioonfire.com, Diamond K. It's the Diamond K Show. And we are talking about this very light ruling. And people are going to say 10 years, that's a long time. Okay, this was murder. Murder of an innocent man. That I'm tired of that fear for your life thing. You were in the wrong place. So let me get this straight. You can fear for your life in someone else's house and kill them. Some people are going to say, but she did not get off, right? They're going to say that she was found guilty of murder. But then there's a two-part thing. Because the sentencing does not reflect that to me. But who am I? What do you think about it? What do you think about this ruling? Amber Guyger, former Dallas police officer, 10 years in prison for killing her neighbor. Killing her neighbor. Okay? Why did she call for backup if she was so scared? She's a woman, right? This is a guy. She was scared. Why did she call for backup? Why shoot not to kill? He wasn't coming towards her. What he had? This is a spoon, the ice cream spoon. What did he have? Right? So she could call for backup, did not. Okay? She thought that her apartment was being burglarized, and he's in the kitchen eating ice cream. Really? She suggested, the prosecutor has suggested that she was distracted by the sexually explicit phone messages she had been exchanging with her police partner, who was also her lover. He probably was on his way over, right? So you kill somebody? That messed your evening up, I'm sure, and messed up his life. So, of course, widespread attention drawn with this case. Everybody's talking about it. And the circumstance is very strange. Very strange. There seems to me like there's more to this story. She could have saved this guy, shoot him in the heart. Could have saved her. Now she is forever branded a murderer. Murderer. This jury allegedly made up of women and people of color. That could mean anything. But just a sad state of affairs here in this case. I don't know. I don't know if the city of Dallas is going to really turn out for this, ride for this. Of course, another disturbing thing that happened with this case. The judge hugs. The judge hugs this convicted murderer. I've never seen a judge hug a murderer before that's in her courtroom. Never seen that. But, I've never seen a lot of things that happened with this case. As his mother said, crime scene contaminated, moved around, of course. Her 911 call, very shady. Her actions, very shady. They want to put this on a training video. So what's the situation here? Where's the training exercise? Okay, she was off work. She's an off-duty police officer. Shoots and kills this guy in his house. Very disturbing. Very disturbing. Of course, you're listening to the Dominic Hayes Show, RadioOnFire.com. I'm here daily, broadcasting. Now, the Radio on Fire News Network is launching a brand new app for all Apple and Android devices. Take us with you while you're on the go. Get Radio on Fire podcasts, live streams, merch, member content, all right in your pocket. Watch and listen, however, wherever you want. The Radio on Fire News Network app launches October 31st for Apple and Android devices. More information on that, visit radioonfire.com/app. So I'm excited about that. Very excited about that. Also, if you need advertising, you have some product, some service, some event, something that you want to get in front of our viewers and listeners here at the Radio on Fire News Network. Our broadcast reaching over 350,000 people per month. Get your message in front of our audience. You need a targeted social media campaign, commercials, on-air mentions, giveaways. Visit radioonfire.com/promo for pricing and other details. So I am just always disturbed by cases coming out of Dallas like this. And the fact that when we have a police-involved shooting of an innocent black man, we usually know how things go. So this jury, to me, it seems like this verdict came down as a way to save the city of Dallas. They didn't want the rioting. They didn't want the confusion. So they couldn't find an officer innocent, right? So they give him the guilty thing. People were kind of like, yesterday when the guilty verdict came down, people were like, all right, well, I'm going to see how this goes. we're going to wait this thing out. I was one of those people. And then, obviously, the terrible, terrible verdict comes down. And the sentencing, rather. Terrible sentencing comes down. And many people frustrated. Many people not surprised. A lot of people are not surprised by this. And I'm not saying that I'm surprised. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that we stand by and allow this level of corruption, this level of incompetence, this level of sheer disregard for human life. These are the reasons why, some of the reasons why people have problems with the boys and girls in blue. A lot of officers say, well, why are we being treated like this? Things like this add to that level of angst that people feel for the police and the level of angst that they feel for politicians and the level of angst that they feel for this system. It's not fair. It's not right. But that's what it is. That's what it is. Of course, let me know your thoughts on this. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Tommy K Show, at Radio on Fire, LinkedIn also on there, having a lot of interesting conversations over at LinkedIn. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking more extensively about impeachment. Is that a real thing? Is that a real thing that's going to happen? What does impeachment really mean? On tomorrow's show, we're going to be talking about that because a lot of people upset, a lot of people excited about this whole fiasco that we're in, and it really highlights how important the 2020 election is. But all politics are local. And tomorrow I'm also going to be talking about the mayor's race, who's in it, who's coming up, speculations, what are we looking for in the next mayor, all of those things I'm going to be talking about tomorrow's show. And, of course, you miss any episodes of The Diamond K Show, radioonfire.com/Diamond K. Also, as I said, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Twitter, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, Libsyn, Apple. We're there. Okay, we're there. Spotify. I have music on Spotify. My mixes on Spotify. Club mixes on Spotify. And as I said, music. Search Diamond K on Tidal, on Apple, on Amazon. It's out there. Stream the music. Listen to the shows. Content is there. And this is Radio on Fire, the Radio on Fire News Network, the voice of urban America. I'll be back tomorrow. But as I said, I am it's a sad day. You can't train your son how to survive in his house if some police officer breaks in and kills him. It's sad. It's sad. All right. Good night.